Grand Rising, everyone. My name is Sharell, Mississippi Choctaw, Overhill Cherokee, and Mescalero Apache.
And I'm Durrell, Narragansett Indian and Seminole. This is actually a follow-up video, I guess. The Unehiya team produced a video last year exploring the 1800s phenotype of the Choctaw Indian, and we wanted to revisit that topic.
Yeah, definitely check out that video if you haven't. It's real short, like 5 or 6 minutes. I believe it's just called Choctaw Indian 1800s Phenotype, Shannon O'Loughlin plus Chief Warhorse.
Right, basically the gist of it was showing how we can know that Choctaw were black even in the 1800s, but like one of the sticking points with that was the hair.
Well, we gave you a primary source. Alfred Boisseau was a renowned artist from the 1800s, and he painted portraits of 2 Choctaw Indians at the time. They were definitely dark-skinned people with the exact same complexion as African Americans, but their hair appeared to be straight, and there was a bit of debate about whether it was straight or just wet.
And we provided a sauce on that too, because the fashion encyclopedia was talking about how Indian tribes from the Great Plains to the East Coast would lather their hair with bear grease. So yeah, it would have looked wet either way. Black folks' hair would have been really long too, because they were washing their hair multiple times per day.
Exactly, and Chief Warhorse was a good example of that kind of length for our hair. I think all black women deserve to know that the real secret to your hair is how frequently you wash it and condition it. Your body needs 3 square meals a day, and your hair's the same way, 3 square meals a day. Our hair's like plant life. You gotta water it frequently, and bear's fat would seal the water into the hair.
Yeah, so some people were skeptical of the Choctaw hair hypothesis we were putting forward on that one. So we're going to briefly revisit Dr. Joe Dyer's book, The Lake Charles Attakapas Cannibals Period of 1817 to 1820.
All of that was Choctaw. Now we want to look at the phenotype for Algonquian Indians on the East Coast. Algonquian society included Powhatan Indians, which refers to the people of Pocahontas. It also included the Lenape, which were the people of 20th century historian Jack D. Forbes. In order to analyze their phenotype, we're going to look at a tribe that doesn't get as much attention anymore, which is the Unehiya Indians. They're the ones Nantucket was named for.
Yeah, the first known portrait of any North American Indian is a portrait of Nini Great. This is him. He lived in the 1600s, which is important because that's before Indians could do much mixing with the colonizer. So what that tells us is his phenotype is pretty much, it's pretty much how Unehiya Indians looked. And that's legitimately an indicator of what the rest of Algonquian society looked like, which includes the Powhatan. So we should compare.
So now.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so can we point out something about the hair real quick? I want everybody to study how Nini Great's hair sits his shoulder and hangs down.
Oh, yeah.
His hair is long, but not straight. This looks exactly like our natural Negro hair after straightening it with a curling iron. This painting reminds me so much of my mom getting ready for, church, you know?
Definitely.
Heat and pressure makes our ends look like a foxtail, if that makes any sense. If our hair gets long enough, it'll look the same way every time it dries after you wash it too. It'll look like a black cloud is hanging from your head. It's mystical, honestly. It's not supposed to shine. It's supposed to absorb light, not reflect it. These hair products we use to make it shiny are just weakening our hair and disconnecting us from our roots, both literally and figuratively. Our hair is supposed to be like a huge vortex following us around.
That's a bar and a half. Sis said they not like us. Listen, I just wanted to show everyone the statue of Chief Powhatan, and I know a lot of y'all should be familiar with this. It's at the Virginia Museum of History and Culture. Chief Powhatan, of course, was Pocahontas's father. The reason we're looking at it right now is because it gives us a second reference point for the Algonquian phenotype. Look at the lips and, as always, look at the hair. This honestly suggests Nini Great's hair was basically like this too. If you wash this hair 3 times a day and protect it when you sleep, it looks like Nini Great's hair. It has to cause these tribes are related. They're just different segments of the same ethnic group.
Right. Chief Powhatan lived from the last half of the 1500s to the first decade of the 1600s. So these are super early glimpses into the original Algonquian phenotype too. It just goes to show that Indians mixed with Europeans to create the phenotype we're used to seeing from carded Native Americans.
So this is why Native Americans who are not black should be joining Unehiya to help fight for the recognition of black Americans as predominantly indigenous to America. We're the ones who look like the ancestors because we haven't mixed much with Europeans, but also because we haven't mixed much with Africans either.
Contrary to popular opinion.
Contrary to popular opinion, yes!
Support Negro Indians. Join Unehiya. Help us campaign for recognition. We have a strategy for how to achieve that, starting with targeting Senate Bill 3019.